Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Let's see what we have here. Just want to do a quick live and invite you all to subscribe to my channel. I hope we got some sound. Sounds like we have some sound. I'm doing this little test drive and trying to see what we have and who can hear me, how this all works, and invite you to subscribe to my new channel on YouTube. It is Elena USA Live. Have some promo videos for you, and hopefully we have this connected and working. Of course, we have some great news today. Mr. Zelensky himself have graced us with his presence for his movie trailer called Ukraine, the most expensive movie ever made. So we have a lot to talk about, and I'm glad to test channel that I've created on YouTube, and hope you all subscribe and join. Make sure when you subscribe to the channel to click notification bell, which will then notify you when I am going to be live next. This is just a quick test run. I'm testing sound. I'm testing what is going on here on the stream. Looks like I have some comments and I can see them. Let's feature a comment here. There we go. Christine Tridente. I hope I am pronouncing this right. Thanks for your comment. It looks like this is working. Randall, not doing camera. I'm just trying to test sound and trying to test because I'm streaming to two platforms at the same time. So I don't want to be distracted by the camera. I just want to see where my controls are and how everything works. Hello, Julie. How are you? Great picture. Love to see you. So doing a real test run and see how I can feature everyone's comments. Now that you could see my channel on YouTube, it is Elena USA Live. You can type it at Elena USA Live and subscribe, and make sure click notification bell so next time I go live you will be notified if you're perusing on YouTube. This was just a quick test run. Love you all, guys. I appreciate all your comments. I love that you are on my page. I'm glad to hear all of your thoughts. Certainly love all of your comments. And of course, we have so much going on in the world, so much going on in Ukraine and United States, just about everywhere. I have subscribers from Australia on my page. Hello to all of you guys. Germany, Denmark, just about every country in the world, guys. I just letting you know that every one of you is appreciated. I read your comments and all of your insights. Value. I'm trying to read both. Value so much to me. Let me try to get back to my comments here, trying to navigate everything. Imagine if I had camera. For the first test run, I don't think you want to have a camera because you're trying to get the hang of all the controls here, and there's multiple platforms. Oh my gosh, a lot of it. Julie Ritchie is asking, should we be supporting Ukraine? While it's a loaded question, we are supporting Ukraine at this time with $105 billion already at play from United States alone. And Congress is giving another $47 billion the last time I checked. And of course, Zelensky is here to make sure that this number keeps growing. Supporting Ukraine should be calling for peace talks. That would be supporting Ukraine. Unfortunately, that's not where our current administration and our Congress's hearts are. They do not understand that supporting Ukraine is not facilitating more death of Ukrainian people in Ukraine. Supporting Ukraine is rooting for peace and making sure we are not on the brink of nuclear war with Russia. That would be supporting Ukraine. So we should all support the peace talks, and we should all support the dialogue with Russia and make sure that this ends sooner than later, because obviously we don't want to have nuclear war. None of us do. I hope none of us do. Unfortunately, a lot of people in Washington don't understand how close we are to that. So supporting people of Ukraine, supporting Ukraine is not printing money and sending in and fueling Zelensky's war machine. It is calling for peace. It is calling for peace talks and ending this. But it does not seem that this is the policy direction that our current government in the United States is pursuing, which is very sad. Therefore, each one of us, what can we do? We could write to our representatives, we could send letters, we could call them, make phone calls, and make sure that we the people of the United States are calling for peace in Ukraine. And that would be something that we all can do, contact our representatives and voice our concerns about nuclear war and voice our concerns for all the insurmountable death of Ukrainian people, Russian people. All of this is a disaster. It's a tragedy for both nations. It's a tragedy for Europe. Look at all the refugees, all the misplaced people. Each one of us who live in the United States and those who do not live in the United States in your respective countries should be contacting our elected officials and insisting and demanding that they sit at the table and do peace talks. Thanks, Julie Ritchie, for your comment. Let me see. Ukraine has just been millions by USA taxpayer money. Absolutely. Yes, our taxpayer money is getting spent on weapons to kill more Ukrainians. And we have to understand that it's not promoting peace. It's only promoting more death. And that's a tragedy. If our taxpayer money, instead of facilitating the better conditions for Americans within America, are floating overseas and that get channeled back through all various avenues. If you remember the current FTX scandal, what's going on in there, that's insane. And what else we don't know yet, and how many weapons ended up in Nigeria. I believe the African Union has expressed concerns of weapons showing up over there from Ukraine. So this is all a one big disaster, and we need peace talks urgently. And every one of us can contribute, contacting our representatives to do that. Let me see what we have. What else do we have here? Let me see another comment. No money helped to end war till now. How more money will help it? Only peace talks is the way. Absolutely, Armin bro. Absolutely. I agree with you. If you guys scroll down my page on the Facebook, you will find a lot of good videos to help you understand that this war has not started in 2022. It has been ongoing for the last 8.5 years. It started in 2014. There's a lot of material on my page that will open your eyes as to the reality of this war, the origins of this war. And if this war has been already going on to the smaller extent it was within Ukraine itself, that now we have Russia joining in, do we want NATO to join in? Do we want to have this mushroom into the nuclear mushroom? Do we want 8-9 more years of it? How much more of this people will take? Look at Ukraine. This is disaster for the people of Ukraine. And we as Americans and we as world citizens should be calling for peace immediately. Each one of us can at least try to voice our concern for where this is going. And unfortunately, there is no end. The current administration in United States and Congress seems to be hell-bent on fueling this conflict. It's a losing proposition. It's insane. It's a disaster. It's a tragedy, and we should not be sitting by and just watching this unfold. We should be voicing our concerns to our elected officials. We see Annie Tollefson. Thank you, Annie. This is a war soon, a real World War III. Yes, exactly. It's on the way to World War III. We see how the chessboard keeps getting shuffled and how many countries now are doing sanctions, how many countries are sort of trying to position and align themselves. I'm afraid if this is not stopped anytime soon, it will keep fueling and it will certainly not end well. It's just amazing what we hear on the news and all the nuclear power that Russia has. The notion that Ukraine can win against Russia on the battlefield without involving NATO in some shape or form is obviously have been dismissed by many outspoken advocates of peace and the end to this war. One of them, Colonel Douglas Macgregor, he was the a senior advisor to a Trump administration in 2020. In many of the videos that I watched and presentations that he gave, he explained that. Scott Ritter is a U.S. Marine, former intelligence officer, have spoken extensively on the subject, explained to us as a former weapons inspector for UN that this is militarily impossible, and we're just feeding more Ukrainian lives in the war machine that is unstoppable unless Biden and Congress and EU will talk to Russia and call for peace and sit down at the table and end this disaster and this tragedy. How much of this money is Zelensky getting personally? Well, we don't know that, but I did see something called Panama Files. If somebody researches on that, of course, several people have alleged that Zelensky may own some mansions across the world, in one of them being in Miami, who knows where else, we don't know. But there is definitely a good movie to watch, and I have it on my page, or you can Google it on YouTube. The movie is called Ukrainian Lives Matter. That movie has been made by Ukrainian investigative journalists, and it features what that movie refers as external governing of Ukraine. The movie is presented by the former Ukrainian parliament member, Nadia Savchenko. She is presenting this movie. Again, the movie's name is Ukrainian Lives Matter. It is very eye-opening how the laundromat of Europe is working and operating. Check this movie out on YouTube or scroll my page, and you will see the movie that I've posted there with some comments. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Diogenes. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If you are typing from Greece, I think I should say Kalimera, or is it Kalispera there? Is it evening, I guess, or morning? I hope I didn't forget my Greek yet. Forgive me if I did, but thank you very much. Thank you for a very nice comment. I appreciate it very much. Okay, guys, this is my quick live. I am trying without the camera. I've explained it in the beginning to try to figure out all the controls. I'm streaming to several platforms here. And the main goal is making sure I can work this and how this all comes together, and encourage you to please check me out on YouTube. It's Elena USA Live. Looks like if you just type Elena USA, it just comes up, Elena USA Live. I will end this up with some promo videos so you could see all the branding and how to find me. And when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, please click the bell, that is notification bell, and you could certainly be notified of some next lives. We'll do it again. One last comment here. Max Abasi, thanks to the channel like yours, we have some kind of information regarding this unnecessary war. How is the situation inside the Ukraine? Why the Ukrainian people are quiet? A great question, Max. As some of you know, that I'm fluent in both Ukrainian and Russian, so I can watch and hear and see Ukrainian press, Russian press, obviously American press, and the world press as well. But I do hear and see and talk with a lot of people, and everyone definitely agrees that this war likely will last a long time. Unfortunately, Zelensky banned a lot of independent media channels in Ukraine. Therefore, people do not have a lot of information, people who live in Ukraine. And so what they're getting is one-sided story about how Zelensky is already dreaming of getting Crimea. That's the last I've heard, that everybody is geared up, that he's going to take Crimea by spring even. So they're getting a lot of one-sided information in Ukraine. Unfortunately, the disaster of death of soldiers, of Ukrainian soldiers, is not being reported in Ukrainian media, yes, as well as American media. But when I watch the videos of Ukrainian volunteers and the people who actually go to the front lines and who helps the soldiers with some necessities, which apparently it appears that soldiers beg volunteers for some additional materials to be delivered to the front line, including some food items. Those volunteers criticize heavily Zelensky. One of them has recently been put under house arrest for 60 days for criticizing Zelensky and voicing concerns that the guys from the front line and people around him voiced about this war. So there is martial law in Ukraine. They're not allowed to organize. They're not allowed to protest. They're not allowed to speak. They do not have access to the alternative media, to independent media, courtesy of Zelensky. And basically the dictatorship that he has employed as the current policy. So, and Ukrainian people who do dare to speak out, like this volunteer, his name is, I believe, Alexei Oscar. You could look him up. I believe he's on TikTok and he's on some other channels. And he recently posted that he has been placed under house arrest for 60 days. Because he was trying to deliver some aid, some humanitarian aids, and talk to the soldiers on the front line. I guess it's not allowed to speak the truth about the war in Ukraine. So there's definitely, they get reprimanded. That's why they seem to be quiet, because they're pretty much silenced. The same way as we are silenced in America, because we have official narrative. And unless you walk the line of official narrative, you basically are labeled and you are called names and basically silenced on social media. Your posts will not get views. They will make sure the Twitter posts, if you remember this Twitter files disaster that Elon Musk recently brought some of it to light, that how the accounts of the people have been a sort of, I don't want to say, yeah, deplatformed. Some people were actually banned, and some are banned on daily basis. I believe Scott Ritter was banned for tweeting about Ukraine. And I believe there is another gentleman by the name of Garland Nixon who was banned, and he talked about it on George Galloway show that he has been banned. I know Jackson Hinkle was on and off suspended and banned. So speaking the truth in Ukraine and speaking the truth in America is not easy, and it's definitely being suppressed, and people get silenced. So thanks for your question, Max. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Sorry if I didn't see everyone's comment. I will certainly try to read them after this. I will put some promo videos. If you happen to be on YouTube and subscribe to my channel, that would be grand, so we could stay in touch and get connected for my next lives. And in the meantime, we'll pray for peace in Ukraine. If you are praying kind, if you are not, we'll just send good vibes. And if that's not your thing, just think some good thoughts and contact your elected representatives, definitely in the country from which you're watching, and voice the concern you have for the disaster and for the lives of Ukrainian and Russian people alike, and that we do not want to have this escalate in a nuclear war, and we need to make sure this stops, and we need to make sure that all the countries come to the table and talk peace. Bless you all. Have, guys, a good day wherever you're at, and I'm going to put some promos. Hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we had our quick little chat here that we'll do next time. Thank you, guys. Love you all.